So I gotta throw out one name, which I think is just funny. Relique Brown. Anyone?
I
I
was
saw
Anyone?
gonna say
that.
that. I was gonna say that too.
I thought that was so funny because he redshirted this year, so he's got 3 years of eligibility left on. I don't. Yeah, he redshirted either this year or last year, so he's got 3 years of eligibility left. And coming out of, I mean, we talked about him a lot because again, we've been doing this for 3 recruiting cycles now, and he was part of. I think he was in the first one we did our full coverage on. He was a guy we were really excited about because of how dynamic he could be or could have been for Oklahoma. Now he's gonna have 1.5 million schools that want him, so we'll see who ends up getting him. But the fact that he was so ready to be a Sooner at one point in his recruitment might help out Oklahoma. I mean, it is a very different staff, but he still has familiarity with the offensive coaches. You still have DeMarco Murray, who was there trying to recruit him, Finley, who was there trying to recruit him. Now it's going to be part of the play design, so he can kind of be a little bit more of a first-hand resource and like, this is how I'm going to use you if you come to Oklahoma. This is the opportunities you'll get with the ball. And he kind of, I guess he would be an upgrade to what Gavin Freeman is currently with the gadget plays.
You know, I mean, how interested will he be in Oklahoma? I don't know, but I I think it's interesting. I would think Oklahoma would kick the tires there. I mean, to see. I mean, obviously the coaching has changed. They've at least had some sort of conversation. Him and Brent Venables, whenever Venables came on board and right before he decommitted, I'm sure they at least had a conversation. I bet they try to go after him, but I would think he's going to have plenty of suitors that are going to
Oh yeah.
go after him. I mean, he's a talented player. It's just USC just couldn't figure out how to use him.
Hey, kudos to him for figuring it out though. You know, maybe he played for Link for a year and said this is not it. So that shows growth.
Shows growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing we probably won't be seeing in this transfer portal season is an exodus at Texas A&M, how we've all expected. Thank you to the A&M Board of Regents and it's probably just the Board of Regents and the donors, because the athletic director was, I think in my opinion, doing the best thing by trying to hire Mike Stoops, but they will not promote Elijah Robinson for whatever reason, which I don't know what it is. I don't follow A&M or that deep into it. I think that was silly of them, but they did their best in making sure that the guy that they did hire as head coach would keep him, which that's the only, if somehow maybe he gets taken to be a defensive coordinator somewhere else, because there are spots around the country that would love him for his recruiting for how good he is at recruiting. But unless he leaves, those defensive linemen are going to stay at A&M more than likely.
Yeah, I mean, I think Elijah Robinson did a great job. I think Texas A&M did a great job retaining him. Whoever did it doesn't matter. He's there. The thing that you talk about with the head coach thing, and this is what we texted about, I think it's impossible for an interim coach to be, I think, a legitimate candidate for a Power 5 head coaching job when the sample size is that small. I think that's the only thing that hurt Elijah Robinson. Because, I mean, you're right, the players love him. He's going to keep all these guys. But it's just that sample size is tiny, and I think that really hurts it. But he's going to be next in line for a head coaching gig somewhere. I wouldn't be shocked at all if he's the head coach of some school.
Might
going
be
into
A&M
next
in like
season.
3. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but it might be A&M here in like 3 years when.
Yeah, if he stays that long, I'd kind of be shocked if
name?
he stays that long.
Yeah, I mean, we did have Kill Gundy stay for a million years until he was removed from the program. Assuming Elijah doesn't do something like that to get removed.
Cal Gundy was never a guy that was going to be getting a lot of head coaching offers, though. And I feel like Elijah Robinson's going to have them. Kind of like Levy was for us. Elijah Robinson's going to have them coming to him all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, who? I mean, I think Relique Brown is a maybe more of a far-fetched recruit potentially. Um, I know there's been rumors about if Evan Stewart hits the portal from Texas A&M, Oklahoma would have a shot there. Obviously, a talented player
I
with
still
him.
want Boosie Badass.
Yeah, I mean, now that Oklahoma has lost the commit of Dozie, there is an open spot, and I think Oklahoma will most likely, unless Terry Boosie decides to come back, which I'm not holding my breath there. I think Oklahoma's going to look to the portal to fill that scholarship. And who could that be? Is it Evan Stewart if he hits the portal? Maybe. But there is someone that would be an interesting fit in Donovan McCulley from Indiana. It's got the connection to Desan McCullough. Indiana is kind of been a dumpster fire for a long time. They fired their coach. But last year, McCulley had 48 catches, 644 yards, and 6 touchdowns. He'd be a solid addition. I don't think Oklahoma is going to struggle finding a wide receiver to join this class and join this team. Emmett Jones is going to go find himself a dog. What do you guys think?
Emmett Jones is him.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's a guy that Oklahoma will make sure they don't lose until he has an opportunity to go be a play caller somewhere. And I think at this point, while there's still a lot of stuff going on in the coaching carousel, you kind of know who's being targeted by their schools. They've been reported multiple times. Emmett Jones' name hasn't really been out there as a guy to be a play caller. Probably not till next season, honestly. And we'll see. Maybe Binley gets a promotion to be the sole play caller somewhere if Oklahoma's offense does well, or Littrell, and then just promote Jones. But one thing, sorry, I didn't hear if you mentioned it, Brum. A&M did lose their wide receivers coach. They're not retaining him or anyone on their offensive staff. So that does open up the possibility to a Terry Bussey, Evan Stewart, if he does enter the portal. There's options there, right? But for Bussey, you have to see him actually decommit first. And I saw a quote from him that he's going to give them an opportunity to kind of sell them again on A&M and the offense that they'll have. But if they don't do a good job, Oklahoma has 3 weeks, roughly, to try to get back into that recruitment. LSU is going to be tough to beat there, but...
I mean, Caleb Williams said the same thing.
As far as
giving you an opportunity to, yeah.
No, that's definitely fair. Another guy that you mentioned is Omari Abor. Man, that's a blast. That's a name from the past. You haven't heard anything from him in forever.
I looked him up before we started because I wanted to see, like, why would he leave Ohio State? Because even though their defensive linemen haven't been, Chase Young, Bosa's-esque in the last couple of years, JT Tuimalu has still been good. Jack Sawyer's, good. Their defense as a whole has gotten better. But it looks like he got hurt this year and missed a lot of time. So maybe the other guys got more opportunities while he was hurt and felt like it was a time to leave. Obviously, I can't read the kid's mind, nor do I know him personally, but just outside looking in, seems like that could be a reason why he's exploring the transfer portal.
It'll be a fun one for us to look at because, I mean, you're right. We were close with him with the previous staff, and now we have a much better defensive-minded staff in there. So maybe they'll throw their name in the hat in the ring at least.
Yeah. And talking about another guy potentially along the offensive line, Brandon, you pointed out earlier in the show, talking about what positions for transfers. The offensive line, I think, is a very viable spot for where Oklahoma will take maybe one or two guys. I think you're going to see Rain probably go to the NFL. I think he's going to be gone, so he'll be out.
I think Tyler Guyton's gone too. Yeah,
Guyton's gone. Walter Rouse is out of eligibility. And McCade, Matwire, I can never say his name.
Mattower, I think, right?
Mattower, gosh, Mattower. 4 of your 5 starting offensive linemen outside of your true freshman, Caden Green, are gone.
That's big sexy time. It's Jake Taylor time.
Yeah, and Jacob Sexton obviously has been filling in at the right tackle. So I think, and he's getting back from his ACL, and I think next year he'll be really ready to roll. So you think you got your right tackle taken care of. Caden Green, it'll be interesting. Does he stay at left guard, at the guard position, or do they kick him out at tackle? But I think Oklahoma is going to take potentially 2 offensive linemen, especially losing out on Grant Bree, as we like to say on this program. And it seems like Eddie Pierre-Louis is off in no man's land, and we have no idea where he's at. I think you're going to see Oklahoma probably try to take 2 guys. And also, Caleb Schaefer, when he transferred in, he only had 1 year of eligibility left, right? 2?
It's a good question. Don't know the answer.
Yeah,
I
honestly,
think he only had 1 year. I think him and Rouse came in with the idea of competing for a spot, 1 year left. If you get to play for Coach B, it's going to be great for your NFL draft stock. So he's gone as far as depth, I believe. A guy that Oklahoma could go after is potentially Davion Carter. He's from Memphis. He's an interior offensive lineman. He's one of the better offensive linemen you're going to see in the transfer portal. I'm sure there's going to be more guys that will hit the portal, but I would not be surprised if 2 guys are taken. And Jimmy, I wouldn't necessarily be shocked that Savion Byrd hits the portal either. He's had some tough times. Obviously, he was given the opportunity to beat out Caden Green for the left guard position, and there was a lot of inconsistency. Yeah, I mean, Josh Bates is there, but he'd be a redshirt freshman center.
Friend of the show, Josh Bates.
He is a friend of the show. Haven't had him on a long time. We should try to get him on for the off season. That'd be interesting. But still, losing 4 offensive starters, potentially losing. I think you're losing Caleb Schaefer. You're losing depth there, and potentially losing Savion Byrd to the portal. I don't know if that's really going to happen as far as Byrd going to the portal, but there's going to be a lot of depth that they're going to have to replace. And I know they've got 4 offensive linemen in this class already with Josh Isosa,
Akinkunmi, Daniel.
Brooks, and I'm blanking on the last guy. But they've got, and then another guy potentially from Michigan State, Spencer Brown. I mean, there's just so many names that you could look at. I think there was also a kid from Harvard. I don't remember if he's in the offensive line or if he's a linebacker. I can't remember, but
Eugene Brooks. That's the name.
Yeah, Eugene Brooks.
Shout out Unfair Sports.
Yeah, shout out to Unfair Sports for sure. So, I mean, Oklahoma, I think you're going to see them be very active in the offensive line. As I'm talking to you guys, that's actually probably the number 1 position they're going to be.
You're stressing yourself out, yeah.
I am a little bit now, losing 4 of your 5 offensive starter.
That's why I said it. I think it's the most important area to target in the portal. I mean, it always is, as we talk about it. That's the name of the show, is get the big boys. But yeah, I think it's, if not the number 1 priority in the transfer portal, it needs to be number 2.
The trenches will be where they focus. I think they've got maybe get 1 corner, but I know you guys mentioned it earlier with the possibility of what that room looks like. And they might not have a ton of experience, but Kendall Dolby probably starts next year, and he got a lot of playing time this year. Gentry Williams, I think, outside of his injuries, was the best corner. If he was just able to be as healthy as Woody Washington, you probably would see that, and we would all agree. That's definitely what's holding him back, and you guys mentioned it. Then you do have young guys, but they were good. Makari Vickers played well when he got time. Josiah Wagner played well when he got time. Jacoby Johnson was a late person to enroll.
You got a pick, though.
But he did get a pick. Then he'll probably understand the defense better. Might get more time. Someone that's there to help out. Jaden Rowe, if he can be healthy at some point, could be some quality depth there because he is big. and fast. You still have Kanai Walker. I believe he still has 1 more year of eligibility, 1 or 2 more years of eligibility. So you have talent. Definitely want to get maybe 1 more guy. But you do have some young guys coming in the 24 class, and Jaden Hardy and Jeremiah Newcomb, Eli Bowen. So it's not like it's lacking people. It's just lacking experience.
Do you guys think Billy Bowman hits the league?
I hope not, but probably. I mean, realistically, he's probably a first or second round safety.
He had a year. What do you have? 4 pick sixes on the year? 5, something like that. Yeah, he's a guy that I'm not sure his draft stock will ever be higher. I wouldn't be shocked if he were to depart, which would suck. But I think that then you have to start thinking about safeties too, just for some more depth. Obviously, Peyton Bowen's going to be unbelievable, I think, and I think RSJ is going to be pretty good too. But I think you want some more depth there. Is Reggie Pearson gone? Does he have any more eligibility left? Just more. I mean,
he is.
I think he came in with. Yeah, I think he came in with 1 year and talking real quick. I mean, BL. He pointed out. I forgot Zeke Corral from Notre Dame as a center, and then also he said the UTEP center, and he was meaning, I assume, is Justin Mayers. I don't think they're going to turn over the center position to a redshirt freshman and Joshua Bates going to the SEC. I think that's a must get. And then as far as Billy Bowman, I just hope OU can take care of him via NIL to convince him to come back.
Is Jada back next year? Or is this Jada Coleman's last year?
This is Jada Coleman's last year. This spring.
Respectfully,
that could hurt.
I do think that is she 1 year older than him?
I thought they were the same class.
They're in the same class. We already talked about this.
Couldn't remember.
It's her 4th season is in this spring, and Billy's 4th season is this fall, or next fall.
So then she would probably have to graduate right in the fall of 24, where he could leave for the league if they're trying to leave at the same time. So there is a chance he stays. I think if you just look at his, depending on his draft grade and what agents tell him he'd go at, but if him and Jada are trying to ride it out for 1 more season at Oklahoma for football, and they're definitely going to be here for 1 more season of softball. That girlfriend play helps out again.
Girlfriend play never sucks. It's always good. Also, that couple might be the most athletic couple of all time. They're going to do